What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with the overall market and talk about some very important levels. Let me mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks, and the offer ends in just about 11 days from now. Anyways, for the market, let's talk about this. So right now, SPY is in a very, very interesting trend. We were just trading sideways in this range for almost the entire day. Then we saw a nice dip, so we were calling this out. We did get a little pop and then a drop after that, all the way down to our 50 EMA in the 527 area. Now, it came just short of reaching 526.6. And if anything, we also came short of reaching like 529.5 today. So I think that this is due to manipulation. What they're doing is they're trading the market sideways. They dump it, dump it, and pump it. And they're doing this to really hurt the options holders, the people who have short-term options. That's their main intention. This is actually getting in the way. So what do I think is going to happen moving forward? I think that for the rest of the day, SPY is going to continue to kind of chop like this, trade sideways like this, and really hurts people who are holding short-dated options. But because we have this wick that formed here, there is a little adjustment I want to make. It is possible, especially going into next week, we get one more pump on SPY. I'm not saying it's going to be a big one, not necessarily, because remember the trend right now, right? We have this new trend that's developing. If I bring this up right here, we had this high up here at 531.5. We came down to this low here. Then we made a lower high, and then we just continue to fall. So it is technically trending downwards, but is it possible we get one more pump back up like this? Even if this does happen next week, right? Not the end of the world, because we're still going to be bearish even if we do get a rejection and start falling like this. This is still kind of like us downtrending. To be back to bullish, you want to see this basically break the high and just continue to kind of, rally like this. We're not really seeing that right now. I think that the odds still favor SPY making a lower high, continuing to fall just like this. I think that the move that we're seeing today on SPY is just pure manipulation. They're manipulating the market right now to hurt options holders, and that's why SPY is kind of trading like this. I do want to note that, yes, we did get a little pump and dump like move like we called out, but now that this happened, we got a little volume spike right here, and we saw buyers defend. It is possible to try to push this a little higher again before we see more downside later on going into next week. So I want to give you guys a warning about that. There's just a lot of manipulation today, and it's not the best to be trading intraday for. As far as Tesla goes, I mentioned to everyone that we had a bullish catalyst that came out. However, I wasn't really expecting Tesla to just explode today. I said that Tesla might kind of struggle and see a lot of sideways price action around basically around 178 for the most part. So what happened is we did push up. We went up to about almost 180, then we came back down all the way down to 176, and then we're coming back up to 177. So it's just kind of moving around this 180 area. It went a little bit above this, a little bit below this by 2 points, and trading sideways, pretty close to what we basically called out around this 178 area. I think Tesla's going to just continue to trade sideways for now. We'll talk more about it, what happens next week, but that's all I'm seeing for the time being. Nvidia dipped exactly as predicted. We got a little pop on Nvidia towards 950. Then we rejected, came all the way down, not just to 930, because I was talking about 930. We actually went down to 920. Now we're getting bought back up. So watch 930's resistance and 934 at our 50 EMA. But I think Nvidia is just going to trade sideways right here in the very, very low 930s. Not really do a whole lot for the rest of the day. And we'll see if this trend continues for next week. But it is looking a little bit more bearish for the QQQ. I mentioned to everyone we could be looking for a dip for about 450. That's exactly what happened. We did push to 453. We called this level almost exactly this zone right here to be tested at 450. Then we got bought back up. So now we're going to likely test 452. The trend on the QQQ is actually weaker than SPY. It's actually more established in my opinion. Like SPY is all over the place, whereas the QQQ is actually clearly downtrending right here. And we're going to be looking to see how it reacts to our 20 EMA. This 452 area is going to likely retest this. So it could actually pop a little bit more, but then we'll see if we get a rejection for next week and continue lower. This trend is still showing some weakness. Look for a little counter trend move, though. It might try to rebound a little bit before we see the next leg down. For Aapl, exactly what I told you, sideways price action, 3 days in a row. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's nothing going on with this. We have 189.5 around that area as our support zone. 190.5 is resistance. And what are we doing? Back and forth price action. There's no like major direction so far. So give that more time. So it's kind of boring. For Coinbase, we did push a little bit higher. I did mention that we might see Coinbase try to push for 211. And that is close to where we went to and a little bit short of that. And now we're just holding 207. So it did push a little bit, but nothing too crazy. For Amazon, I mentioned to you all that it's actually downtrending right here, and watch basically this range between 183 and 185. We did actually maintain this range for now, not really doing much. We are dipping a little bit, so it could actually get back down. And for Meta, we had resistance at 472, support at 468. It's just chopping back and forth all day, not really doing much. Microsoft, same thing. Microsoft kind of chopped all day between 418 and 420. Could go a little higher to about 420.85 if we do push from here, but not really much is going on with it. Excuse me. GME and AMC continuing to fall. There's not really much going on, guys. GME is basically at 20. I think it might dip a little bit more to get this gap filled down here at 17. Then we'll see if we get a bounce after that. Same thing with AMC, might dip a little bit more. We could actually make our way down closer to about lower levels, such as the $4 area before anything else. The VIX also dipped a little bit more. We actually lost 12.4. That's the first time this happened basically this entire year. So that is something new for the VIX. But the VIX is approaching support in the 12s. Historically, for the last few years, anytime we're this low on the VIX, it does eventually bounce. So we'll wait and see. But I just want to note that something new did happen. The VIX has never really dropped this low this entire year, and this is the first time. So something worth noting. With that being said, what do I see for the markets? SPY is trading sideways right now. For the rest of the day, it may continue to trade sideways. Could we get that pop next week? It is possible to get a little pop next week. Try to fill this imbalance a little bit like this. Then we establish a lower high and continue to fall later on. So yes, I think there's going to be more downside coming. We might get a little pop first again, maybe starting next week. We'll see if it even happens or not. It could just be a trap. But either way, I do anticipate downside will be the ultimate move. And for the rest of the day, SPY is going to likely just continue to trade sideways. Still stuck within this range, so there's not really a whole lot going on. With that being said, enjoy the weekend, guys. I'll upload another video. I'm going to make the next video kind of like quick and in just the next couple of hours. And I'll be very, very patient with the rest of my videos. I'm basically planning on posting one more video in about 3 hours, by the way. And then after that, I'll post a video for Saturday. And then I'll be back on Sunday as I typically am. So nothing's really changing this week. All the videos are basically going to be scheduled, and you guys are going to have like a lot more treats coming out. But for the markets, I just want to make it very clear that the market's in a very, very interesting place. Many people could argue that the market is very overextended as it's at these levels. And you could argue that the market kind of exaggerated its move to the upside, whatever you want to say. But I just want to say that despite that, whether there are signs of exhaustion or not, the buyers are not necessarily gone completely. They are still trying to defend. There's a lot of manipulation right now because of the options chain, and the market's going to take its time. So be patient. That's the number one thing to remember in the markets. Always be patient and always manage risks when it comes to trying to short and such, because when you short a market that keeps going up, right, that could really hurt you. And if you short too early, too late, you have to be very, very careful. So I want to make it very clear. The market has a lot more manipulation coming, but we will once again continue with these videos later on. So until then, just enjoy the rest of the day and just look at what the market's doing for now. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day and peace out.